My name is Robin Watkins Davis and I'm the founder of Shift. And Shift is an online business and we train school teachers, primary and secondary, with tools from mindfulness and yoga. And Shift started when I was about 17. So I trained to be a yoga teacher when I was 16 and I'd been practicing yoga since I was 12. Because I really needed it to help me with my mental health and increasing my confidence and changing my outlook on life so that it was more positive. And I found it to be so effective that I had this burning mission to get this in schools so that all sorts of young people can have these tools to be able to self-regulate and feel a little bit more empowered in control of their minds and their lives. And so far it's working really well. You've worked all across Gloucestershire in different schools, going in and delivering workshops. And now with Active Gloucestershire and Gloucestershire Healthy Living and Learning, we have the Shift online training, which is even more powerful because it means that teachers are then empowered to be able to go out and put these tools in their classroom, which makes it more sustainable and more part of the everyday school life. And we're seeing incredible changes happening. So now we're going to go over to Flo Cross, who will be leading a yoga session. So please join in and follow Flo and Danny, who is a teacher at Pittville School, and her students. So very excitingly, Danny just completed the Wellbeing Ambassador Shift program, and she only finished that a few months ago. So really hope you enjoy their session and please have a go and follow along with them.
Hello everyone. I'm Flo, and I'm going to be leading a little class for you guys. I am currently the UK's youngest yoga teacher, so I trained when I was just 15, so I'm still a similar age to you guys. I'm 17, and so we're going to share a class together, and it's being recorded for the Active Gloucestershire Virtual Schools Games Festival. So it's quite exciting that we're going to be involved in that. It's just going to be half an hour. We're going to do some breathing, some movement, and hopefully you guys will enjoy it. So as with any kind of yoga that you might have done before, or any movement like this that you might have done before, make sure that you're listening to your body. I don't know how it feels to be you, so make sure that you're really listening to your body and making sure that any movements you're doing kind of suit you today. It's quite hard to see through the kind of screen as well to check in on you guys. So it's really important that you are, being kind of listening to what your body's telling you and seeing if you can work with that. And so we're gonna make a little start. So we're gonna start led on our backs today. So it's a nice relaxing start. So you can lay flat on your back, or you can have your kind of feet on the ground with your knees up, whatever you prefer. Don't worry if you can't quite see me, that's okay. I'm just gonna, I'm not gonna be doing anything. I'm just gonna be talking to you. I'm actually gonna sit up so you can hear me a little bit better. So getting yourself comfy and just kind of checking in with yourself. So just kind of noticing how you're feeling today. You don't have to tell anyone, you don't have to tell anyone how you're feeling. This is just a little check-in kind of for yourself. So just noticing, how you're feeling today. How your body's feeling, how your mind's feeling. And we're going to kind of think about watching our thoughts a little bit during the class. So check in with what's kind of in your mind, what's on your brain at the moment. And we're going to try to, throughout our practice today, think about bringing our mind back to our breath or to our body, whatever you prefer, so that we're going to be nice and kind of focused, and it can kind of almost be like a little break when we're not thinking about anything else. We can just focus our mind on our body and on our breath. So saying that, we're going to start to notice how you're breathing today. So notice, see if you can tell how quickly you're breathing. Are you breathing quite quick or quite slow? See if you can notice kind of how deeply you're breathing. Maybe noticing whereabouts in your body you can really feel the breath. So maybe you can feel it in your tummy or in your chest. Maybe you can feel it like kind of tickling your nose or tickling your lips. Where can you feel your breath? And we're going to have a go at a breathing technique called 3-part breath. So it's a really great technique for helping us to really kind of focus on our breath. It's very good at kind of zoning in almost on our breath. And it also helps us to breathe nice and deeply. So we're going to breathe into our body in 3 parts, like we're filling up a jug of water with kind of 3 cups. We're going to breathe into our tummy first, then our rib cage, then our chest. So I'll start off by kind of talking you through it, and then I'll let you have a go by yourself for a few rounds. So you might want to place one hand on your tummy and one hand on your chest. That can often be really helpful for this breathing technique. If that doesn't feel right for you today, that's okay. You can have your hands down by your sides. It just makes it a little bit easier. We're going to breathe in first to our tummy. So we're going to breathe in just to your tummy, breathing in all the way into your tummy, like you're blowing it up like a big balloon, breathing into your tummy. We're going to take a little pause, and then we're going to breathe into our rib cage. So see if you can feel your rib cage expanding. Taking a little pause, and then we're going to breathe into our chest. All the way into our chest, and our body's filled with breath. And then we're going to breathe out in one big go. And then we're going to do a few rounds like this. So we're going to breathe into your tummy. Breathing into your tummy, feeling your tummy expand like a big balloon. Taking a little pause. Then we're going to breathe into our rib cage, feeling your rib cage really expanding. Taking a little pause, and then breathing into your chest. And feeling your chest rise, so you're filled with air. And then sighing all the way out. And we're going to keep going like this in your own time. And so see if you can keep each of these kind of 3 parts of the breath separate with a little pause, so that we're really kind of focusing on separating out the breath. And I'm just going to give you a few moments to have a go at this breathing technique in your own time. So see if you can really kind of feel the movement of your breath, feel your breath moving your body and filling up your body. Amazing. And we're going to take one more, so making this your last kind of whole breath. And then after you've breathed out, just letting your breath go back to its kind of natural rhythm. And then maybe noticing how you feel. So you might feel exactly the same as before we did the breathing, or maybe you feel a little bit different. There's no right or wrong answer at all. Just checking in. So we're just thinking about being mindful of how we feel so we can really look after ourselves. And we're going to start to add a little bit of movement. We're going to kind of lift our feet into the air and our hands into the air, and we're going to make some circles with our hands and with our feet. So we're warming up our wrists and our ankles. So your legs don't have to be very far off the ground, but just so you can kind of move your ankles. Really kind of listening to any like clicks, feeling any kind of like movement, any stretches. We're starting to warm up our body. And then going the other way. So we use our wrists and our ankles all the time. So it's good to give them a little bit of a stretch and kind of pay attention to them, give them a little bit of care. And maybe giving your hands and your feet a bit of a shake. Yeah, giving them a nice shake out. And then we're going to nice and slowly make our way up to sitting. And then we're going to nice and slowly make our way on up to standing. Maybe just giving your body a bit of a shake, kind of wake the body up a little bit, get a bit of blood flowing. It's a Thursday morning, so we always need a bit of energy. And then we're going to bring ourselves to the front of your kind of mat. So I'll just face you for a second or two. So we're going to go through some rounds of the sun salutations, and again, making sure you're really listening to your body. So I'll give a few adaptations for each of the poses and make sure that you're taking the one that fits you best. So it doesn't matter what anyone else is doing, it doesn't matter what I'm doing, just make sure that you're feeling good within your own body. So we're going to start with our feet under our hips, shoulders over our hips. We've got a nice kind of tall spine, and our hands down by our sides. And maybe just checking in with how kind of your body feels, maybe having a little bit of a sway to kind of feel your balance, feel your feet on the ground. Have a little play with your balance so you can kind of feel your feet adjusting to help you balance. Amazing. And then we're going to reach our hands up into the air. See if you always see that you can reach up towards the sky, maybe even coming onto your tiptoes, stretching up as high as you can. And so breathing out, we're going to nice and slowly fold over our legs. So you can have a bit of a bend in your knees, or you can have your legs straight. It doesn't really matter. Maybe you just want to let your arms hang. Maybe you want to kind of sway your arms from side to side, being kind of careful of the person next to you, but maybe just letting your arms swing, having a little play, almost imagining like your arms are like an elephant's trunk, kind of swinging around. Maybe even getting a bit of movement into your back as well, maybe a bit of a twist. So we're just gently starting to warm our body up on this first kind of side. Amazing. Maybe you want to give the backs of your legs a little bit of a rub so that they're kind of, the muscles can get a bit of blood to them. Maybe give them a bit of a massage to really help those legs to stretch out a little bit. Again, you don't need to kind of force them to, just give them a little bit of persuasion. And then we're going to bend our knees so we can place our hands on the ground. And we're going to step our right leg back and place our knee on the ground. Lovely. So we want our front knee to be just about over our ankle so that our shin is in a nice vertical line. Looking good. And then maybe looking forward. If this is feeling a bit sore, you might want to bring your knee a little bit closer to your kind of foot. So this length here is a bit shorter. So you get a little bit less of a stretch into your hip. Yeah, brilliant. So just getting yourself comfy. Have a little bit of a wiggle maybe to get yourself in the right position. And if it is feeling a bit sore in this back knee, maybe you can kind of fold your mat up a little bit so you've got a bit more padding. And we're just going to take 3 really deep breaths here, breathing right down into your tummy. And seeing if you can notice whereabouts you can feel a stretch here. Amazing. And then we're going to place our hands down on the ground. We're going to tuck our back toes under, and we've got a few options for this next bit. So make sure you're taking the one that suits you. You can either step back into a plank, or you can come maybe into a knee plank. So they both kind of do the same thing in your body. I'm going to take a knee plank for now. Both poses, both versions are helping our tummy to engage. So make sure you've got a bit of a squeeze going on in your tummy. We're going to take 1 deep breath here. As we're breathing out, we're going to lower down. So we're led on our tummy on the ground. And we're going to kind of wiggle our chest up, and we're slithering up like a snake. So we're lifting our chest up off the ground. And you can keep your arms a little bit bent, or you can straighten up, or you might want to bring your forearms onto the ground. If you're feeling like that's a bit too much of a stretch. Brilliant. So make sure, again, doesn't matter what anyone else is doing, just make sure this feels good for you. And we want our shoulders away from our ears. Maybe thinking about kind of squeezing your shoulder blades together a little bit, looking forward. So you've got a nice open chest. And we're going to take a nice deep breath in here, feeling your body really kind of fill with air. With our nice open chest, there's lots of room to breathe into. And then we're going to place our hands under our shoulders if they're not there already. We're going to tuck our toes under. We're going to keep our tummy a little bit engaged. So we've got a little bit of a squeeze into our tummy. We're going to come up to our knees. And then we're going to push our hips up high into this pose called a downward dog. So we're imagining we're pushing our hips up and back, like you're trying to sit up onto a high shelf. We're making kind of like a triangle shape. If it's a bit sore on your wrists, you might want to come onto your forearms into more of a kind of dolphin pose, this one's called. Or if you're feeling a bit tired, you might want to take a child's pose. So this is where we put our hips back onto our feet. So whatever feels good for you today. Lovely. We're going to take, again, 3 deep breaths here, noticing what stretch you can feel in your body. Brilliant. And then we're going to, if you're up, if you've got your legs kind of straight, bring our right leg into the air, and then we're going to step it between our hands. If you're down in your child's pose, we're just going to lift up onto all fours and then place our foot between our hands. So we're stepping our right foot forward so that we're ending up doing this little lunge on the other side. There you go. Yes, you might want to kind of wiggle your foot forward a little bit. Exactly. So getting yourself comfy here. And then we still want this front knee to be just about over our ankles. So we want a nice straight kind of vertical shin. We're going to have our nice open chest looking forward. And again, see if you can feel the stretch here. Whereabouts can you feel this stretch in your body? And we're again going to take 3 nice deep breaths here. You might even want to bring your hands up onto your knee if that feels good for you. Again, making sure that that shin's nice and vertical. Taking our 3 deep breaths here. And then we're going to gently lower our hands back down. We're going to bring our weight onto this front foot. And again, this might take a few kind of wiggles. We're going to step this left foot towards the other one at the front of our mat. Awesome. And we're just going to hang here a second. Maybe again, giving your legs a little bit of a rub, whatever's going to feel good. Maybe you want to kind of pedal your feet. Give your legs a bit of a wiggle, one straight, one bent maybe. And then we're nice and slowly, like we're uncurling from it, like a little seed just growing out of the ground. We're going to roll up, keeping our chin tucked in. I'm going to bring our hands up over our head and bring our hands together at our chest. Lovely, maybe having a little bit of a wiggle. So that's one half of a round of the sun salutation. So we're going to do the other half now. Amazing. And if you do need, if you feel like, oh, this is a bit sore or anything, maybe having a little wiggle, see if you can find a way to kind of shake it out maybe. Maybe if you're feeling quite energetic, you can have a bit of a jump. Yeah, brilliant. And then we're going to find ourselves back at the front of our mat with our feet under our hips. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So we're going to breathe in, reach our hands up into the air, maybe onto our tiptoes, maybe you even want to bend backwards a little bit. Whatever feels good for you. Reaching up as tall as you can, so breathing out. We're going to gently fold down. And again, you might want to swing your arms a little bit here, or maybe you want to just hang, maybe have a little play with this pose. What can you kind of change? What can you explore a little bit here? Maybe even bring your hands kind of up over towards your head, like you're kind of swinging, swimming even. Yeah, brilliant. Getting a bit of like a stretch going on. Yeah, awesome. Getting that blood flowing. And then we're going to gently kind of let our arms come to a bit of stillness in front of us. We're going to bend our knees a little bit so we can place our hands on the ground, and we're going to step that left foot back this time. So we're coming into our lunge with our left leg back. Again, making sure this knee is over our ankle. So you've got a nice straight line upwards for our shin. Getting yourself comfy here again. Maybe you want to wiggle your knee and your foot a little bit closer together or a bit further apart. Getting yourself comfy so you can feel a bit of a stretch along the front of your hip. But it shouldn't be like really, really painful, but you can maybe feel a bit of a stretch happening. And we're going to take 3 deep breaths here, breathing into your tummy. And as you're breathing, see if as you exhale, as you breathe out, see if you can imagine that stretch is just gently softening. Lovely. When you finish that last breath, we're going to place our hands onto the ground. And again, we're going to come into either our plank, our knee plank, or if you prefer to take a down dog, you can. So that's either stepping back into a plank, knee plank, or maybe a downward dog. Or if you are feeling super tired, maybe you want to come into a child's pose. So if you're in your plank, making sure it's a really nice straight line you're making with your body. So yeah, making sure whatever you're doing feels good for you today. We're going to take 1 deep breath here because it's quite a strong pose. And as you're breathing out, we're going to lower down onto our tummy. And as we breathe in, we're going to lift our chest up off the ground. So you can lift your chest quite high. You can stay down a little bit lower. Either way, it's kind of the same pose. You're getting the same stretch. And we want our shoulders away from our ears. So we've got, our shoulders kind of coming down our back. I think I'm going to stay on my forearms for this one. But you don't have to be doing what I'm doing. You can do whatever feels best for you. And we're going to take a really deep breath in here. Breathing in, feeling your chest opening, feeling your tummy kind of moving against the ground maybe. And then we're going to bring our hands under our shoulders. We're going to tuck our toes under. We're going to keep our tummy a little bit of engaged, a little bit of a squeeze up to our knees. And we're going to straighten our legs, pushing our hips up nice and high. Or maybe coming into your child's pose, where you've got your hips back towards your feet. Or if you want to have your forearms down, maybe taking that option. Whatever feels right for you today. And we're going to take 3 deep breaths here, deep belly breaths, feeling your tummy move if you can. And see if you can feel what's kind of happening in the pose that you're in. Where can you feel a bit of a stretch? Lovely. And then we're going to lift our left leg up into the air this time. And we're going to step that left leg between our feet. It might take a few goes. If you're in your child's pose, we're just going to lift up onto all fours and then step that foot in between. So it might take a bit of like a wiggle to get your foot here. That's okay. It usually takes me a few goes as well. So getting yourself comfy here. Again, we want our knee over our ankle. And then if you want to, you might want to lift up here. Maybe bring your hands onto your knee. Nice deep breath here. 3 deep breaths even. And again, see if you can feel whereabouts in your body you can feel a stretch. So again, there's no right or wrong answer. When you finish that last breath, in your own time, we're going to bring our hands back down onto the ground. We're going to kind of tuck that back toe under and we're going to step our feet to the front of the mat. Might take a few steps. That's okay. Just get your feet here. And then we're going to gently roll up again, like we're a little seed, just uncurling, just starting to grow out the ground. We're going to bring our hands up over our head like we're reaching towards the sun. And as we're breathing out, bring our hands together at our chest. And we're going to just take a moment here to maybe catch your breath if you're getting a little bit out of breath, a little bit warm. Maybe check in how your body feels now we've moved a little bit. And we're going to set a little intention for our day. So you might want to do this stood up or you might want to come sat down, and whatever you prefer. You might want your hands together at your chest, maybe just on your knee, maybe closing your eyes. We're just going to take a moment or two before our relaxation to set a little intention for your day. So maybe you want to set your intention as to find a little bit of gratitude. So maybe just now you want to think of something you're grateful for, or maybe you want to set kind of a little goal or a little challenge to yourself today to notice kind of the little things that you're grateful for, like if you hear a bird singing and you think that's really pretty and that's something that you're grateful for, or I don't know, that you've got a really good pen that you really like and that's what you're grateful for today. Whatever it is, maybe that's what you want to set your little intention for. And I'll just give you a moment or two to think of that and think what you can, what you want to set your intention as. So it could be anything at all, a little kind of positive, like little goal or little kind of phrase, or maybe thinking of something you're grateful for. Lovely. And then we're going to make our way into a position for relaxation. So you can come so you're led on your back, or if you prefer to kind of sit against the wall, if you find laying on your back uncomfortable, you can do that. So you might want to lay with your kind of legs straight and your hands on your tummy or your hands down by your sides. You might want your kind of feet on the ground and your knees resting on each other. Whatever feels best for you. But we want to make sure there's no kind of twists or tucks in our body. Try not to have like your legs crossed or like looking to one side. Try and be kind of your face be up towards the sky. And we're going to close the eyes. If you don't want to close your eyes, that's okay. Maybe like softly focusing on a point. And we're going to do a little relaxation called tense and release. So it's really nice just to give our body a bit of a relax. So we're going to go through our body and we're going to kind of squeeze that part of your body. And then as we breathe out, we're going to release it. So starting down with your feet, giving your feet a little bit of a wiggle. Then we're going to squeeze our feet really tight. Squeeze your toes up, kind of scrunch your feet up. You're going to breathe in tight, tight, tight as you're breathing out, releasing and sighing the breath out. Then we're going to squeeze our lower legs. Try not to do this by pushing your knees into the ground. Try and kind of engage the muscles, maybe by pushing your heels forward. We're going to squeeze our lower legs, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. As you're breathing out, releasing. We're going to come up to kind of our thighs and our bum. We're going to squeeze our thighs, squeeze our bum. Tight, tight, tight. Deep breath in. So breathing out, allowing it to release. Letting go. We're going to bring our awareness up to kind of our tummy and our back. We're going to squeeze our tummy, squeeze our back like you're trying to kind of squish your spine almost. Squeeze your tummy. Tight, tight, tight. Deep breath in. And as you're breathing out, allowing it to relax. You're going to feel our kind of shoulders and kind of our upper back. And we're going to bring our shoulders maybe up towards your ears. Squeeze your shoulders. Tight, tight, tight. Deep breath in. So you're breathing out, allowing your shoulders and your upper back to relax. Then we're going to feel into our upper arms. I'm going to squeeze our upper arms. It can be quite hard to kind of tense them, but just give it a go. I'm going to squeeze our upper arms. Tight, tight, tight. Deep breath in. And then allowing them to relax. I'm going to come to our kind of lower arms and our hands. So making a little fist with your hands and kind of seeing if you can tense your lower arms a little bit. It's a bit tricky, but just see if you can give it a go. We're going to breathe in, tight, tight, tight. Deep breath in. So breathing out. Sighing the breath out and releasing your arms. And then we're coming up, feeling our neck, our head and our face. This is the last one. We're going to scrunch our face up into a little ball. Don't worry, no one's looking at you. Don't worry if you look silly. We're going to squeeze our face into a really tight ball. Taking a deep breath in, tight, tight, tight. And so breathing out, releasing our face. Feeling your whole body kind of release to your whole body, like relaxed, almost like when you squeeze out a sponge. We've squeezed out any kind of tension and we're left feeling nice and relaxed. And we're just going to take a few deep breaths here, allowing your body to feel super heavy, super relaxed, and allowing your kind of mind to just gently focus on your breath, maybe. Lovely. And then we're going to slowly start to make small movements with our fingers and your toes. Maybe giving your fingers and your toes a little wiggle. And then we're going to gently, still with your eyes closed if you can, we're going to roll onto our right hand side. So nice and gently rolling onto your right hand side. And so you'll land your side, just checking in with how you feel. Check in with kind of how your body feels, how your mind feels. Again, there's no right or wrong. If you feel the same as before, then that is completely fine. But just checking in and taking the time to notice. And then maybe thinking back to your little intention. Maybe you want to spend today thinking or noticing the things that you're grateful for, maybe noticing the little things that you're grateful for. And then we're going to gently make your way on up to sitting. When you're ready, gently opening your eyes. Yeah, in your own time, gently kind of wiggling your way up to sitting, waking yourself up nice and slowly. Amazing. Well, thank you very much for joining me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I've enjoyed kind of meeting you through the screen. And yeah, thank you for joining me, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you have a really great rest of your day.